Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. This is your host GD. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Battle Bites on your local public radio station. Today we're going to be talking with Wargaming about the event going on this weekend, the March Madness Final Four. But before we get into that, we've got a caller. Who do we have on the line, Johnny? Oh, it looks like it's every World of Tanks console player in the world. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, hi, long-time listener, first-time caller. I just want to take the opportunity to say, JD, that you are as talented as you are handsome. Thank you for everything that you do.
Well, thank you very much, caller. While you're on the line, let me ask you what you're looking for. What are your expectations for the Final Four event going on right now?
Yeah, well, for me personally, it's been quite a bit of a grind. We had the Super Bowl-inspired Tank Bowl event, and half of the people that got the MVP medal weren't able to get the free tank, so that was a bit frustrating. It was a bit RNG based, and then we had the Fatherland event, and again, completely RNG based, and on top of that, it was a week-long grind in Soviet tank. So what I'm really hoping for out of this Final Four event is to remove the RNG components in getting the free tank, and also hopefully to avoid playing some Soviets for a little while and mix it up. I know I've got the Czech tanks just sitting there waiting to be grinded, and I'm really looking forward to an opportunity to do that as soon as possible.
Well, thank you for sharing your thoughts there, caller. It looks like we now have Wargaming on the line, so we're going to switch over and ask the question that's on everyone's mind. How exactly is the Final Four event going to work this weekend, and what do you need to do in order to earn the free premium tank associated with the event?
Thank you for having me. We know players are a bit frustrated with randomness influencing whether or not they get tank, regardless of how much effort they put into said event. So what we have done is for Final Four, 4 teams are now available, and you pick one of them, and if you are on the winning team and you have completed at least 15 points in event, which is similar to Tank Bowl scoring, you get free tank.
I'm sorry. So there's now 4 teams to choose from instead of 2 like in Tank Bowl, and only one of the 4 teams is going to win the tank for free, as opposed to 1 and 2 in the Tank Bowl event.
This is correct. We think players are frustrated with randomness in events, so we increase randomness in event to give 25% chance to pick right team to earn free tank. Players will like this very much.
Okay then. Well, are there any other events that you have coming up soon that kind of get away from the tank grinding, or from the randomness, or from Soviet tank grinding in general?
We have brand new event where you drive tank on Mars. You shoot lasers, you go pew pew. It is fast and fun. There is no tank to earn. It is just for funsies.
Oh, well, that sounds really interesting. That's probably something that I know I and other players will look forward to very much. When can we expect this event to come out?
Right now.
Excuse me?
Event is going on right now, this weekend.
But isn't this weekend the Final Four event where you need to be constantly grinding one of the nations that you selected to earn completions and therefore get the free premium tank?
That is correct.
So players have to choose between 2 events going on simultaneously that both, I presume, took a lot of time and effort on your part to develop and plan and put into the game, and now we have to choose between this rare one-time event where we drive around on Mars in fun tanks, or where we have to grind out as many completions as possible for the Final Four event to try and earn the premium tank, an event which has been building up and culminating over the past month?
That is correct. We think players be very happy with this decision.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Apparently I need to get back to grinding tanks so that I can participate in both the mission to Mars and completing a chance, 1 in 4, at the brand new premium tank from the Final Four event. So thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
So the real JD back here again. Since there's a couple of minutes left in this battle I have running in the background, I figured I'd offer a little bit of serious commentary on what's going on this weekend with the Final Four event here. Truly a disappointing outcome after the Tank Bowl event. I was hoping some of the feedback that we were giving to Wargaming on the outcome of that, people completing the MVP medal, putting a lot of time and effort into the game, and then just being lucky enough to have picked the right team or not, and having a 50% chance at that point, and being disappointed. I think the feedback was pretty clear across the board, pretty uniformly against that kind of event and that kind of outcome. If you were a person who got the MVP event, for the MVP medal for, I think it was Team USA that lost Tank Bowl, feel free to let me know in the comments why you feel that way, and give some reasonings, because I'm curious. I was on the winning team, and so it was fine. But if I can put myself in the shoes and say, man, if I put that time in to be on the MVP medal, to complete the MVP medal, and then I lost and didn't get the tank, I would have been really upset. So if you feel differently, please let me know. But I was hoping that there'd be some change, that, if you got the MVP, no matter what team you're on, maybe you would get the tank. And if you were on the winning team, you would get something bonus, something cosmetic besides the tank, either a special trophy or a special camo pattern, something like that. That no matter who you are, what team you picked, if you got the MVP, you completed the top level of completion that they set for the event, you get the tank. And then just, if you happen to win, because that's kind of random, that's not something you can do on your own, then you would get the cosmetic upgrade that nobody's going to be really upset about not getting when they put the time in. So very disappointing. And then compounded on top of that, we get this cool event, the Mission to Mars event. Those tanks are a lot of fun. I mean, basically, I guess it's just a new map, but they put in the physics and they put in the pickups, and I'll do a full video on that mode shortly after this one. But to have it on top of something else, why do that? Like, that could be its own weekend event. Do that next weekend. Why cram that on top? If that ran into an on-track event, fine. The on-track goes for 2 weeks, and if I miss out on a little bit of grinding, I'm not going to be that upset about it. But right now, I really want to get that MVP medal, and that takes a lot of time on my weekend. So now I have to choose between these two. It just feels really bad. I don't understand the design decision. I know you guys at Wargaming plan things out months in advance, and it takes time for the feedback to be incorporated into the game, but these are small changes we're looking at here. Giving the tank to more people, or not scheduling the Mission to Mars event on the same day as the final event for this Final Four that you guys have going on, just feels really bad. I'm really disappointed. But feel free to let me know if you have different thoughts. I'd be happy to see those in the comments and start a discussion, and kind of make this a place where we can have some back and forth civilly, reasonably, and hopefully that feedback makes its way back to Wargaming to improve the game that we all play and that we all enjoy. And that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you at least got to enjoy a little bit of the background footage there. Tier 5 tank and a Tier 7 game, having a nice impact, nothing crazy, but made for some good background footage while we got to address a topic that was on my mind. So thank you for joining me. Feel free to like and subscribe to Meat City Gaming for future World of Tanks content, and I will see you next time.